Hello, and welcome to the Cancer Journey podcast. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Shariann.
And today we're going to be talking about a topic that many people don't necessarily believe goes in tandem with cancer, and that is celebration. But it is something that is very near and dear to our hearts and something that we do find to be extraordinarily important. So we're going to talk about it today. And before we get started, we'll PESH, and I'll go first today. Physically, I am a 4.5. Emotionally, I am 4.6. Spirit is a 4.5, and hope is a 4.45. And my word is ease.
That feels good. It's just tapping into your ease. Okay. My PESH, physically, I am 3.85. Emotionally, 4.3. Spirit, 4.6. Hope, for moving.
Before we dive into celebration, the feeling of celebration, once again, I want to remind anyone who's listening that while celebration does not feel like it's in tandem with cancer, we're talking about it today from the perspective of celebration and honoring it on the cancer journey, and not trying to force anyone into any feelings of celebration if they're not ready to. Cancer does come with a lot of hardship, and it does come with a lot of constricting emotions. And while those do need to be felt, we also feel that celebration is something that especially needs to be felt when, the mindset of being with cancer and on a cancer journey is so heavy. Celebration gets to lift you.
So true. So true. And we actually at CJI hold celebration as a tool, like a tool for life, instead of us kind of just bobbing around with what's going on every day. It's like having an intention, kind of like gratitude for little, medium, and big things. And I get that for us, let's start with the definition of celebrating, which is acknowledging that something of significance just happened, whether that's great or not. But it is a moment to kind of pause, and that how much we love the pause, but it is a pause to actually see it from this lens of celebration. So as we mentioned in a podcast recently, it's like with every ending is a new beginning. Celebration is an opportunity to see and really take in what's here for us. And what I know, and I think I've said this to one of our groups just the other day, we tend to note that something happened, oh, I finished that book. Great. Put it down, onward. What's the next book am I reading? What's the next thing I'm going towards? What's the next thing I'm doing? And we're missing out on an opportunity. And that's why celebration is so important, is that it's that pause to go, wow, I just finished that book. What was it about that book that had me completed? What's my takeaway from it? What did I love about it? Just to savor, it's like a good meal or a good bite, savor that experience.
I don't know why. Yes, 1,000% agreed. Because while we know that we are capable of all of the expansive emotions, we don't often give ourselves the opportunity to be in them. We kind of, once they're here, we almost ignore them, right? Because when we're in constricting or transitional emotions, sometimes we focus so hard on them because we're trying to get out of them, because they're uncomfortable. But when it's actually interesting, because I think some people are so much more uncomfortable with the expansive emotions and being with them and just owning them. We work so hard to get out of our constricting emotions that when we're finally an expansive one, we're like, all right, I got it. What's next? It's like, then what are we chasing if we can't be with joy, with compassion and passion, with love? Oh my gosh. Why is it so hard for us to be with those emotions? And so I do want to just back up into why this is a topic for us today. July, we're talking about aliveness, but right now there's just so much to celebrate. for us. It's not all huge things, it's not all small things, but there are moments because we don't have to define how big or small it is, really. The fact is, we just deserve the opportunity to celebrate and be like, yeah, like we have programs that just completed and a bunch of trainees and coaches who just graduated out of our programs. It's the start and the initiation into summer. We have our retreat coming up. We have so many new exciting things on the horizon. And I mean, one of the things that I'm even celebrating is the ability to slow down and appreciate those or make time and space for the fear around the newness that's happening so I can really enjoy what's to come instead of letting it being clouded. You know, there's so many different levels to that celebration. And so there's just so much joy here to like embrace. And we just want to like have a moment to really claim it and invite you to do the same.
Right. Okay. Thank you for all of that because you brought celebration back in to my this present moment, and I it feels really good. And I just want to give a little more context for those of you who may have forgotten, or we have a language that we speak in CJI, the Cancer Journey Institute. And when we say constricting, those have historically been equated with bad, negative emotions. Transitional are the ones that are as you're experiencing as you're going up or you're going down, and up and down is in relationship to our map of emotions. And then the expansive emotions, you can kind of feel into the words that we use, is the what other people classify as positive or good emotions. We don't judge it. So for us, it's all neutral. You have all the emotions, and we want you to feel all of them. We're a big company on feel your feelings because they're important and they have a message for you. Okay, that was context. Now, coming back to celebration, while it is like a perspective, it's also like remembering. And I don't know why this wants to come up, but it's like remembering what lights us up. It's remembering and noticing. It's like what's happening right now, because that's all we've got. We're again, not only are we big on emotions, but we're all about the present moment, the only place you have power. So it's like what's happening here, and remembering the possibilities and the joy. I'm not really clear where I want to go, but that just came out and wanted to be said. So
Yeah.
what's that saying to you?
So we've had like a lot of conversations recently about celebration because there is so much going on, and because we're also processing the things that feel hard as well, so that we can actually enjoy our celebration. And what has continued to come up for me is the idea of play and silliness and enjoying the moment. Like I mean, I feel like people say this all the time. I'm sure we say this plenty, but like when you're a child, you pick up a toy, you play with the toy for an hour. You get that hour to just be with it. There's no expectation of where it goes. You might be making something and creating. You might just be experiencing something or listening to something that just makes you happy. And it's like, gosh, why did we put a time limit on being happy? So we don't give ourselves the time to be not just with our emotions, but with the things that bring us joy, really. And that's where the play piece of it comes in for me personally, is like, I really want to emphasize that, like, you have to carve out time for that. You have to be conscious about it because naturally, culturally, the way we're brought up, we don't make time for that. And that's why we move on to the next thing and think that, okay, that was good enough. We have to go to the next thing to maintain our value. But when we sit with ourselves and we realize what is actually valuable to us, it actually exponentially makes the thing you want to do better, or
Mhm.
it brings it closer to being in alignment with who you are and yourself. It makes it feel much more satisfying. And gosh, like the wholeness that comes with it is so important, especially if you're someone who, we spend so much time in our work, and you and I are really lucky in that we have work that we're really passionate about. There are people who absolutely have work they're not necessarily as passionate about, but that means that you need to have something else
I say, let it go.
Just let her
Just keep
be.
going.
All right.
Yes.
That just, to me, says that it's even more important to carve out time specifically for yourself to enjoy, right? To really find something that lights you up, because we spend so much of our time doing work. There are moments in there that you can find that light you up. Outside of work, there are things that you're passionate about, or you don't even have to be passionate about it. You can just be like, it's fun for 30 minutes, you know?
Right, right. Or 2 minutes.
Right. You don't even
Like
have to be
a
good at it, you know? Like
like a
I've been
really
going to
yummy cup of coffee.
Right. I've been going to pottery with some friends, and it's really great because we're all in the mindset of like, we're just doing this for fun. We're not doing this because we think we're experts. We're trying to be like really good at it. I mean, if we're good and we make something we love, great. If not, we got this like experience together. We got to create something with our hands. It's so nice to have little bits of things that make you feel a little bit more whole and connected to yourself. And in that, it is a celebration of just being alive, right?
I love what you just said because I want to go a little bit deeper with celebration. Why we hold it so dear. It's like, okay, what was the experience? So you were just talking about pottery, and so if is that something that you chose to do? So let's just be in the moment of this, and what's happening? You're creating. How's that feel? What does that do? We're all talking about filling our cup of our soul. It's filling it up so that we have resources to deal with the stuff that's not so celebratory or easy or fun. So we're filling our cup, and then it's like, oh, okay, so that's really feeling creative, and beauty is around, and just also noticing what's going on. And then it's like, so how is this impacting me? And being really conscious by taking that extra beat of, well, I'm feeling joyful. I'm feeling on purpose. I'm feeling playful. I mean, it's just, oh, what am I feeling? And then what am I learning about myself? I really need to have this kind of tactical activity in my life. Or for me, I really love weeding the garden. It's like there's something about like cleaning it, but also like supporting what's growing. And I can spend an hour there and think that it was 15 minutes, which is kind of weird. But it's like for me, it's like I'm creating beauty by cleaning things up, and then after that, it's like, so what do I want to celebrate about that? Now being really conscious of the moment.
Yeah, something that just popped into my mind is like when we talk about an activity being therapeutic, like that's what I think of, because there are pieces that really fill your cup that kind of take you not necessarily like away from the other stresses of your life or the things that are hard in your life, but it's like it becomes an activity or something that you can go back to that you know helps you fill your cup. It helps you like maybe forget about that thing for a little bit. It makes you feel productive. It makes you lose track of time. There's something special about that. And even if you did it less consciously, right? To have someone to talk about with. I mean, it's great to bring it here, right? Because we both know how our curriculum works and how coaching works, and that we can like build it out there and we can see how big it could possibly be and how good it can really feel. But like day to day, we're not even thinking about this. We're just lucky to have the
Right.
platform to talk about it. And when you're going through your life, experience things, especially when there's cancer in your life, and, and there's so much attention on what's painful that we don't even want to shine a light on what's wonderful or delightful. So when you're working with a coach, they get to make those things big. They can hear you speaking about a situation and hear the joy here and there, and they can go, "Oh, I just want to pause with you. Like, I heard as you were speaking, there's this moment where your energy went up and I felt like you were excited. And I just want to focus on that with you for a minute and just like give you a round of applause or say yay or like congratulate you on that and celebrate with you." And
Right.
even if it feels so small, like, why am I doing that? Because I weeded the garden. Like, that seems ridiculous. But it's like, but it doesn't have to be. It gets to be a little joy in your life. It gets to be something you're proud of. It's not a sin to be proud of yourself for doing something that makes you feel whole and makes you feel satisfied in many ways. You're not hurting anyone by weeding. I mean, like, you can enjoy that. You can get that. So when you work with a coach, they get to expand it out there and be like, okay, just do it and feel silly about it, right? Because that's kind of what limits us sometimes, is like we're scared to be silly. And that kind of even goes in with play. In our last fundamentals class, and we were kind of cheering for each other and we were talking about celebration, we started doing this at the end of it because
I love this.
it's like celebratory and fun and silly, and it makes you laugh. And who couldn't use a little bit more of that in their life? There's never too much of that in your life. And so your coach can help you access that too if silliness feels like it hasn't been incorporated in your life, especially on the cancer journey when you're just feeling like armored up and you're just like, I'm just trying to get through it.
Right, right. Absolutely. So I want to add to that that almost kind of the opposite, but not really. It's still in the vein of celebration. We tend to think of celebration as, oh, I'm going to celebrate my birthday or an anniversary or a graduation or these big things. It's like, let's have a party. And then when you're on a cancer journey and you're like, okay, so it's time to celebrate the end of treatment, and you feel crappy still. I mean, you still feel like a patient. It's not like, oh, treatment stopped and I feel like everything's all better tomorrow. It's kind of like pregnancy. It's like, I'm going to have the baby and then I'm going to be skinny again and then it's all going to be fine. And then you go, hey, what's this thing that's still here in front of me, even though the baby's, it's a process. And so you don't have the energy to celebrate. It's like, I'm tired. I don't have it in me. It's that celebration is done for the wrong reason, I think. It's like, I have to celebrate. So it's my birthday and, oh, I need to celebrate it. It's more like, what would honoring and acknowledging that particular day, the day of your birth, or the day your anniversary? For many of us cancer survivors, we have like two birthdays. I know that when I had my cells done, and I got it back, that was like being reborn. And so I have a birthday that's August 29th, and I have a birthday that's when I was born out of my mom, October 13th. So it's like I have these two opportunities, but what am I celebrating? And being really conscious of it, and then deciding, how do I want to celebrate this? For what reason? And then when I think of parties, even holidays, it's like there's gatherings. The gatherings are about coming together. It's not so much about celebrating the thing. It's more, when we slow it down and think about it, it's like, who's going to come together? Who am I connecting with? Who am I? It's all about what you're doing in the celebration. Because if you're just there and you're like, it's my birthday, blow out the candle, it falls flat.
Yeah.
There's something more.
Yeah. What comes up for me too around that is that, like, so often cognitively we've linked celebration with effort and doing work and having to put something together for everyone else to celebrate you, and it feels like super heavy lifting. And it also feels like asking people to congratulate you, which doesn't always feel very authentic. Not everyone's like, look at me, it's my birthday. And I don't really think anyone feels necessarily good doing that. Like, the best feeling is on your birthday when it's like this flood of people who just say happy birthday and that's it. Like, I didn't have to remind anyone or do anything. I didn't have to plan and host and be on for all these people, and I didn't have to hold this long conversation. But there's this entry point that we all have to say happy birthday to someone, and it can just be as simple as that, because it's a reminder that you're being thought of without asking for it. And that is, I mean, that's love. That feels absolutely like love. And when it comes to like the have tos around it, it makes the celebration so much harder. If someone plans a party for you, that's great because then you don't have to do the efforting to do it or feel like you're asking people to congratulate you for something. So I just think that like that link to I have to do all this stuff to celebrate myself is where we are like when we think about it. But what we really want is just recognition. And that does have to start for ourselves. What feels like recognition to you? It doesn't have to be coming from other people. You can be like, I do like to blow out some candles on a cake. It may sound sad, but it doesn't have to be to just buy yourself a cake and blow out your own candles. Like, it really doesn't have to be sad if you don't want it to be, because if that's going to make you feel good, if like the tradition of having a cake and blowing out your candles and making a wish is something you want to do for yourself, do it. Absolutely do it. If you want to do like a photo shoot for your birthday where you feel really good and you get to just like feel your best, look your best, have that moment captured, then do it. You know, it's not for everyone else's. If you want to be in your pajamas with no makeup on and talk to absolutely no one that day and then eat a whole pizza to yourself, I love that. Like, do that for yourself if that's how you want to celebrate, because you get to finally rest if that's what that means to you. So that's all to say that slowing down to find those moments of joy, not just on holidays or your birthday, but on a random Tuesday when you went on a long walk and you hadn't exercised in a long time or have the energy to do it, and you get to be proud of yourself for that, you get to celebrate a little bit with that.
Yeah.
And your coach is the perfect person to be like, okay, I did this thing and I feel really good about it and I just want to tell someone. Yeah.
Exactly. And it isn't always about doing. It was like, oh my goodness, I'm so proud of myself that I did nothing for 30 minutes, for an hour, for 2 hours. Because normally we're beating ourselves up. It's that negative ego that's putting us into action. It's like I sat in a coffee shop without my phone and I just watched people. And it was so enjoyable. That filled my cup because I got to see life happening. It's okay. I know that we're going to be wrapping up soon. So I want to say this specifically is that my favorite part of celebration, and this is something that we teach our coaches to do, is to kind of take a look back to see where we started. Maybe it was like, well, at the beginning of the week, I was like this, and now I'm like this. And it could be anything. Birthday last year, I was in this space. Now I'm here. Just to honor your growth. It could be a day-to-day thing. It doesn't have to have time constraints, but just noticing how we are becoming. And becoming is almost like remembering. That's why remembering. We're trying to be whole beings again. And so the filling ourselves up with celebration and being really conscious and in the moment all brings us more connected to us. And that in itself is something to be celebrated. Okay, that just feels like a takeaway.
Do you want it to be your takeaway? You can do
Yeah,
takeaway, Pesh. Okay.
because that feels like it like anchors that in, especially for me. Physically, 4, emotionally, 4.45, spirit, 4.6, hope, 4.7. And my word is,
All right. Lovely. My takeaway. Oh, my takeaway is that there's so many ways to celebrate and like things so minute to me, like even the opportunity to talk about celebrating is is exciting because I feel like we get to like then put it into the ether and then it invites other people to also find a moment to celebrate. You know, it can be as little as like I got to wear my favorite pair of shoes today. You know, like it doesn't have to be big at all. And like what a wonderful way to get present to really consider what you want to celebrate and something that what comes up for me is like something you're proud of that you want to celebrate or something that just like feels really good. And it doesn't have to fall into those categories. It's just anything that generally lifts you. So celebration is so broad and I feel like sometimes we spend so much time talking about the doom and gloom that absolutely does exist in life, but we are humans and we have the whole spectrum, the whole entire map of emotions we have. We don't get to pick and choose. We have all of them within us, and we have the capacity to feel all of them. So to know them is to be able to live a more full and connected life. And is that all I want to say in my takeaway? I don't know. There's so much I want to say on celebration always, because there's so many ways to like talk about it. Like, am I talking about how we're teaching it? And I'm talking about the experience that we like that would be having, or am I talking about my personal experience in the present moment? And I feel like we've touched all of them a little bit. So physically, I am a 4.5. Emotionally, I am 4.75. Spirit is a 4.6, and hope is a 4.5, and my word is scattered, but not necessarily in a bad way. And before we kind of sign off, I do want to just ask both you and myself, what's one thing you want to hold on to and celebrate right now?
I'm celebrating that I'm going to take some time this weekend to be at a wedding, a destination wedding, and I am not bringing my computer. Yay, me!
Wow. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you for that. That's like so hard. The back and forth to be like, do I bring it? Oh, that's great. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. What am I celebrating? I'm honestly celebrating that in the last week, I've had moments where I was like, this doesn't feel right. I don't know if I should move forward. I'm just going to like slow down on this thing right now and not even try to like force anything. Like, I'm just going to let it be and give it a little bit of time. Like, a day or two won't change anything. So if I'm feeling this kind of energy of discomfort or uncertainty, like, I don't need to make a decision on it in 24 to 48 hours or whatever it is. And I'm really proud of myself for actually doing that instead of being like, it feels bad, I have to do something. And now I feel a lot more expansive, and I feel like I'm noticing little moments that are reminding me that it was a great choice to make the choice to be more aligned and just not do, and to just let myself exist with that. Because while we talk about it a lot, it is super hard to do, to really slow down and just be. So, and have trust in yourself that everything's going to be okay, even if you do take a moment to pause on certain things or certain choices. So just proud of myself for that little thing, even though it's kind of hard to explain. Thank you for being with us today. We'll be back next week with a new episode.
Have a lovely rest of your day. And remember, well, before I say that, if you want to share with us what you're celebrating today, please put it in the comments and we'll read them and we'll celebrate with you. And remember, you're more powerful than you realize.